Welcome back to Sampstra Games, the place to find new strategy games. And this one is for the hardcore wargamers. This is probably one of the hardest war games I've ever played. And the funny thing about this game is it's not really trying to be difficult. It does things in a very non-traditional way. Specifically, you don't really do damage to enemies. Instead, you make them surrender. And it is so strange and so different that it has a pretty big learning curve in how to get this thing started. And it's actually not even like the damage thing you could get used to, but then it does this thing where it tries to simulate basically like logistics of real war combat by splitting the turns into leaders, and you can pick which leader you start with. And each leader can only control its small, like, group of soldiers. And you have to, like, spend basically action points of leader to activate a soldier. And that is very, very, like, it's very hard to get used to. Because basically it makes coordination very difficult. And that's what they say. They're trying to basically, like, simulate that it wasn't like you were one big person who could make choices for everybody. There were different leaders and they had to make different choices and they had to coordinate. But it really adds an entire new layer of complexity that you're not used to in war games. The closest thing to this are like turn within a turn war games. We've played some of those on this channel, but it's not quite the same. Like, the difficulty of this or complexity of this is significantly higher than the turn within a turn war games, but they're the closest to this kind of level of gameplay. Warning for disturbing images. Okay.
Well, it was a bad time. I just don't remember it.
But you were fired on then.
Well, everything else, and it was so cold. You know, like I say, if you're wounded, in so many cases, the wound itself was not what killed you. You froze to death. And you'd see the people along, and the soldiers froze along the road. They couldn't get to cover.
October 5th, 1944, Badenberg, near the German border. White snow falls, black smoke rises, American tanks burn. 5th Armored rush straight into heavy German fire. Well, damn, First Sergeant Grant says from beside you. No arty, no machine guns, and now no tanks. Do we still advance, Captain? Of course. We have our orders. We gotta strike while the iron is hot. Lieutenant Wilson says, the man certainly is working hard amid his Second World War. Both platoons move up on the cover, side by side, and we've got a shot. The deeper in the woods, the better it would seem. Lieutenant Dearborn notes. He's both academic trained and Virginia raised, and his voice holds a ring of certainty. If you were to make a wide turning motion against their flank, then they must yield the position. Alright, we'll make a deep flanking effort. They'll expect that, Captain. I know I would, but maybe the force is thick enough to hide the movement. Okay.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Okay, so let me explain this game. After that intro, let me explain this game. So, first of all, these little symbols, this horned animal and this thing that looks a little bit like an octopus, but it's not, and this triangle thingy. This is grouping your soldiers into different units. So basically, these horned animal belongs under Dearborn, and this octopus belongs under Wilson, and this triangle is just the captain. The captain is, you love captains. Captains are the best thing, because captains can control anybody anywhere. They also have other huge benefits like rallying adjacent units, but basically captain can give points to everybody. In order to move, the green dots are orders, basically action points. In this game, they're called orders. Why they're called orders? I'll tell you right now. Because in order for any unit to move, it needs to be ordered by its leader. So the red ones by the Dearborn, the octopus by Wilson, or by the captain. Anybody can be ordered by the captain. And this will cost 1 dot from the captain. And then they can do things like move and attack, and this will cost them their own points. Now, the big part about this game is that there is this thing called the 4Fs, which is find, fight, fix, finish. And basically, you're not going to be doing damage. What you want to do is you want to suppress an enemy unit and then go into melee assault. Because the idea is that when you're shooting, the enemy is going to just hide under cover. They're not going to let you basically just kill them. So they're going to hide behind some cover and they're going to stay that while you shoot at them. This will obviously lower their morale. This will suppress them, but you will most likely not just kill them through attacks. Instead, you have to lower their morale and then you go at them and then they surrender. And this is how you play this game. You do not kill enemies, you suppress them, which is the first big change. The second change is the leader. So right now, I can start with anybody. I can go with the captain, I can go with a Dearborn, I can go with Wilson. But then you are married to that for the remainder of the round. When you finish the round, the enemy goes with their leader. You can come back to your person, so you can make like a half a round, then you can go with your different leader, and you can continue with the original leader. That is an option, and they can basically do the same until you both finish out the turn. Sometimes this can be useful, but you cannot switch to your different leader until you end the turn and give the enemy the chance to move. So we're going to begin with Dearborn. And basically the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover with this unit and move a step forward because we don't know where the enemy is. Now the cover is going to cost you 2 orders. You're going to see 2 action points. This is going to disappear. And 1 from Dearborn. So check him out and you're going to see that 1 goes away because he basically gave an order to the unit to attack. Then we're going to move with the rest of them. We're going to move 1 because this unit is here and we see that there are no enemies around. We can pretty freely move that 1 step. But for the next one, we're going to cover again. I'm going to make sure the unit is covering the step forward because to try to see if there are enemies. We don't see any enemies around yet, so we're just going to wait. Another thing you can do is you could try to bolster. This basically increased unit morale, movement points, combat initiative, and firepower. Now, doing this at the end is not usually necessary because you'll lose the effect at the end of the turn. But in case the enemy found us and shot at us, then we'll get better firepower, so basically better defense and chance to survive. So that's why it can be good. Now, we've used up all our points for a leader, so we have to end our leader turn. Now the enemy goes and they pick one of their leaders and then they go with their leaders. There is an exception with the captain who can go basically at any turn. So we don't know what the enemy did because we can't see them. If we're going to start with this unit, we're going to move 1 step forward and we're going to cover probably. A messenger from 2nd Platoon hurries over to your command post. Captain, the busted up tanks, they're still wounded in them. Okay. Messenger lays it all out for you. As expected, it isn't pretty. The wounded are dying, but the fight isn't over. We're gonna detail men to coax the tankers over. Squad suffers heavy suppressions and positive morale events unlocked. Darn. First engines grants us softly. Maybe the crowds will ignore the tankers if they crawl slow enough. So I'm honestly not sure what you're supposed to hear. It tells you that you're supposed to move the wounded tankers, but you can't actually move the tankers at all. The only way I've seen the ability is if you have a captain on them, but it still didn't really work for me. And if you move your captain to this spot, he's just going to die because it's a very open spot and there's no cover in there. So we're probably just gonna ignore it. But I did want to show you this because I want to show you what you can do is you can rally a unit. A captain can do it from adjacent to the unit. Now we can't do it to this unit right now because this unit is actually suppressed. It actually has already moved this turn, so it won't allow you to do that. But otherwise, you could do it with other units. Now, what I could try to do is I could press the unit, and then we'll give it an extra point, basically. And that now we can cover a step, or sorry, it's not cover, it's creep. We can creep a step forward. And this way we still see no enemy, but we can at least like try to move. And then with Wilson, we're going to move 1 step normally. And then again, we're going to creep onto the next one. We see no enemies so far. And as usual, I'm gonna bolster. We should be bolstering first. We should be calculating the points because then you get extra movement. It's actually better for you if you do it at the beginning, not at the end. But that's okay. Now we're gonna end our first turn and we'll see if we can see any enemies. Wilson is still getting into gear. The airborne is not in position. And the Germans are still resisting. Battalion calling in, First Sergeant Grant says, and officers already answered. Artillery is up. So, if we have a line of sight, we can use artillery to attack. Now, currently we don't have a line of sight, so we can't really do this. We could try to do some smoke. This could help us in like protecting us from getting hit by them. So, for example, if we put a smoke maybe here, it's possible that if this unit tries to shoot at us, they won't be able to see it. We could actually check their line of sight so they can see like this. So if you move one step forward, they're going to be able to hit us over here. You'd have to move around this spot, which I'm not sure if it's really worth our time. So let's maybe start with this other unit. We're gonna creep with these guys just because they'll have one action point left. So if we see somebody, we could attack. So we're gonna move. I think we're gonna move this way. Still see no enemy. Okay, so then you can just move ahead then. Oh. Okay, well, that didn't work out very well for us. I thought we would see them, but I guess they're recovering really well too. So if we attack here, we can flank them. So this is going to lower their suppression. Oh, actually, their captain officer is already... Okay, could we just take over? We do get a lot of bonuses, though. But they're not suppressed at all. So the circle is telling you the chance to win the initiative. So we're going to win the initiative. We have a lot of bonuses from flanking and from surprising them. But I can bolster this unit and then try to do it. No, so what he should be doing is... I'm going to give it... I don't think it's going to work because they are not suppressed at all. Oh, so they didn't surrender. Okay. So normally you're supposed to do this. Oh, they did surrender. Okay, so typically you're supposed to do this after you suppress them. But in this case, we had such a good chance that I figured it was worth a shot. And it did work out. I don't know if it would have worked out without the bolster. I don't think so. Now we're going to end this leader's round. And the next one we're going to move with the other one. The captain can move whenever. So if they're adjacent to a unit, you basically can take command of the unit and do extra stuff with them. Now, we do know that this thing has the line of sight there. So we could try to creep. I'm going to try to creep with them. And we're going to try to go again. Because, wait, do you have, wait, no, I don't, like, you don't have line of sight here. So if I move one step forward, we should be fine. Oh. Well, we would have been fine if we didn't immediately walk into 2 enemy units. So that did not work out as well as we had hoped. Okay. I'm gonna bolster this unit. Just so we get a better chance. If I were to move with my captain here, I could take command of the unit and do a little bit of extra stuff. But it would also mean that we kind of need to get in here onto this spot, really. Oh, actually, no, we need to move there. Or the unit. Okay, let me just rally this unit.
Let's go!
Now, we have choices. We can press the unit into moving and force them to move over here so we can take the objective. But that obviously means that this person will be able to see. So then we would also want to put smoke onto this hex. But I think if you use up the mortar... I think this cost 1 or 2, so let's try that. Let's place the smoke a little bit closer. We'll place it there. We'll come next turn. And then we can press the unit and move it there, or... Can I even press the unit? Yes. I could move... Alternatively, I can move 2 hexes this way. And then they'll shoot at me here. From these. I could move 1 hex. And then creep into this position. But these guys will still see me, so it's not that helpful. So let's... I do want to do something also. Okay, we'll do it. We'll move forward. And we'll creep into this position. And we'll end our turn. Yeah, this is a problem because there are 2 enemies up on one of our units. So we need to move with these and try to help out. Otherwise we're in trouble. The smoke should be coming, so this is going to give us time. Snow, mud, and the enemy do usual. The attack continues despite German resistance. So we need to move here. I'm going to try to creep there, even though I don't know if it's going to matter all that much. Oh, did the smoke still not happen yet? It is next turn. I guess we failed with the smoke. Okay. A bit sad. Wait, I could bolster this unit.
Captain needs everyone now.
We still have a really bad chance of attack. What if I bolster this? Oh, I can't bolster it again. If I move here, I should get an attack from above, I think. We do, but it didn't really help us. Okay, this kind of works. It just seems like it's attack from Wilson, not from the squad. But it does seem like something. Okay. Yeah, let's shoot at this unit with a regular mortar. And then I think I'm gonna try to maybe press... No, this unit is... Okay, that wouldn't help. I was thinking whether we want to press it, but because this squad is... No, we need to rally it, not press it. And we can't do that right now because they've already moved this turn. But I do wonder if I should creep over to here. Just because this hex has a line of sight from here, so if they attack, we would be in trouble. And we're going to end our leader turn, and then we're going to go with Dearborn. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the smoke. I guess it failed. So it does depend on the like morale of the mortar out there. I need to get out of there. But first, we need to rally this unit. Oh yeah, sorry. So we need to move over. With just the leader. Then we're gonna rally it. And then we're gonna move this unit to go here. We're gonna move with the leader here as well. Could I shoot this way? If I move, wait, what's the site of this unit? With this hex? It's just the one adjacent. Okay, so I don't think we're gonna be able to get there. This costs 2 hexes to get there. But we will be surrounding them, so let's give it a shot anyways. Okay, we have a bit of a shot. I think I have the best chances, but I think it's worth it. Just because if we could get them to be at least a little bit suppressed, then they can do as much damage to us. Yeah, we'll see, they're kind of suppressed. Okay, end our turn here. Screaming shriek fills the air and sends a corkscrew of terror up your spine. Incoming! Okay. Hopefully they didn't shoot over here. What about my mortars? Okay, finally we get the smoke, like 200 years later, okay. What about this? Can we bomb this? No, it's been taking too long. I'm gonna need to, okay, I'm gonna rally with the captain this unit. And then I'm gonna move him here and rally that unit. Because I think we need, they can, and we can also, I think we can move out right now. No, they can't. Unless, actually, I'm gonna press them and I'm gonna move them here towards him. Just because we have that objective. They'll have to move in there to stop us from it, and I think it's just important. Next. Are we going with Dearborn or with the other people? Well, this squad can do anything, so we're gonna go with Dearborn. Oh. Oh no, we're going this with gun. Okay, I'm gonna shoot at this unit because if we can get them again to like dread level, like really suppressed, then we can use an attack from we can just go for like melee with Dearborn and finish them, which would be really great. Hopefully we won't die. And I will also bolster the unit that I'm on, just again, if the enemy attacks, we'll get that point, kind of like we had before. End our round, then we'll go with Dearborn. Okay. We don't know how they're doing. We have a really good chance of winning this, so let's give it a shot. I will, however, do we want to bolster first? We have 3 orders. Bolster for 1, assault for 2, and the last unit moving for 3. Oh, I really hope I won't mess this. And then we're gonna do the assault with the bolster. Okay, that worked. Great. Alright, we're doing really well, guys. And then we gotta move this last unit as close as we can. So this is just 2 hexes. So far, so good. Oh, there's a... Okay, we immediately walked into a different enemy unit. Okay, well... I guess we're just gonna stay here, but what are we gonna do? Can I shoot? Yes. Ooh. trying to decide if we move here, we'll be slightly... Wait, but the line of sight of this is what? Is this hex though? Right? No, it's not. So if we move here, we'll at least be above them, but we will be leaving the captain alone, which is bad. I don't know what the best choice is. I think I'm not gonna leave the captain alone. I think I'm gonna do nothing. It would have been a better position. More rockets. The German are not holding back. The radio crackles. Wilson Deer won't compete for bandwidth, but you already know what they will say. If we push, they might hit us before we can brace. First Sergeant Grant says aloud, because someone has to. But if we fail? But if we fall back into the forest, then we'll just have to do it all again tomorrow. But if we fall back into the forest, then we'll just have to do all of this again tomorrow. It's a bad deal either way. What's the call, Captain? So this is actually going to end the scenario and the demo. We had 4 turns left, but I guess it's over now. This is a really cool thing. You can hover here and you can kind of see like what happened. The first platoon of a first company was pinned down practically all day on October 5th. It was the leading platoon and was more or less isolated when the tanks withdrew. 38th Infantry Division after action interviews breaching the Siegfried line. And so basically we can say we will regroup, we'll keep attacking. So we're going to say we'll keep attacking. The other one is always planning something, and if a specific plan doesn't succeed, well, he's got another ready. The enemy will overextend themselves soon enough if we maneuver to force the issue, he declares casually as explosions boom. For they must succeed quickly or not at all. Yeah, we'll take that position. The order is passed, the men take cover and dig in. The enemy advances. So we got a minor victory because the attack is ongoing, and major victory because we had very light casualties. So we got some loyalty and some prestige. Alright, now we can continue story or end it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, write down in the comments, and you can click on the right to watch some other games that are on this channel. I'll see you there. Bye bye.